All right, shooters, in this episode, Rick Hogg of Hogg is going to be joined by Duco, his working K9. They're going to be talking about muzzle work.
Hey guys, I'm Rick Hogg with Hogg Tactical, and on this episode of Trigger Time TV, we're going to talk about how to use a muzzle in the application with the K9. So again, I think it's important you understand there's a couple different muzzles out there. We just have this small muzzle here. It's just a cheap, kind of easy plastic muzzle. So this would be something I would use if I was just looking to try to transport my K9 around and I really wasn't worried about him banging on things, or just maybe to prevent a preventable potential bite. Really, this muzzle here was Duco's primary muzzle that he used. Now, when you look at this muzzle, you can see I've actually modified it, and I recommend for you guys out there, especially in the military or law enforcement community, that you take the time and you modify your muzzle. So what I've done is I've actually opened these holes up in both the rear and the front, because I want to make sure that he's getting the best air possible. Now you sit there and go, well, it looks kind of difficult to do. It's really not. A Dremel tool is what opened these front ones up, and you can just take your knife to the front or to the back side and really just put your knife in there and kind of work it around, and that will open up those rear holes. Now it's important to understand, if you're going to work with a decoy or somebody else is going to be handling your dog, that these holes are obviously larger, that potentially their fingers could get inside. So it's just a common courtesy to let them know, hey, I've opened up the holes in his muzzle some, so there's a little protection loss. But again, this will prevent someone from being bit, but it's also good if you want your dog to do some muzzle work. What I've done with mine is I've also placed this strap here in the back, because this allows me to easily clip it on to a snap link onto my equipment. So now it's always on my person. So in the event, should I get injured or hurt, another one of my teammates can come along and they can sit there and remove the muzzle and actually put it on Duco or whatever animal you have. I like to keep my muzzle in a position where it's extended out all the way, because you'll see once it goes over his head, it's easy to get it in a position and then just pull the straps tight to make sure that we have it securely on his head. And then depending on your muzzle, on its color and things like that, you can actually put some physical marks on there if you want to go, hey, here's some certain points. But again, whenever I'm putting my muzzle on there and he's going to do some type of decoy work, it's imperative that you always do a good muzzle check. So the muzzle check is conducted by, first thing I'll do is I'll put the muzzle on him. I will sit there, bring the strap around the back of his head, make sure that it's tight. And then in turn, I'm taking my hands on both sides of this muzzle. I'm lifting him up to ensuring this muzzle's not gonna slide out. Once I've done that, I'm gonna bring somebody else in and make sure that they conduct a muzzle check. So we've got two separate people verifying that this muzzle is securely on there. Now we can proceed to whatever training we're doing. So a lot of times I see people that they don't want to work with the muzzle, they're afraid of the muzzle, they think it takes away. For me, in my training, I think the muzzle adds so much more to your training. It gives you a lot more variable that you can do, a lot more places you can train, and really allows that dog, in my opinion, to take his game to the next level. You can actually hear them chomping in here and being aggressive in these muzzles. Do everything in the muzzle, but make it fun. The biggest thing is you've got to make muzzle work fun, because if it's not, they're not going to enjoy it. So again, guys, I hope you enjoy this tip. Go ahead and go out, modify your muzzles, get things done that you need to. And again, I'm Rick Hogg with Hogg Tactical, and we'll see you guys out on the range or out on the dog field. Train hard and be safe.